Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to this international webinar organized by the Department of English UGS at the National University of Modern Languages. I, Michelle Shahid, student of BS English 8th semester, am your host for this event. This webinar titled Grammar and Social Meaning is a crucial academic initiative for our BS English 8th semester students aiming to deepen our understanding of discourse analysis. We are privileged to be joined by an esteemed linguist, Dr. Bob Hodge, Emeritus Professor at Western Sydney University, Australia. Today, he will share his valuable insights on the connection between grammar and social meaning, helping us view language beyond traditional perspectives. To formally commence this event, I would like to invite Dr. Muntazir Mehdi, Head of Department English UGS, to deliver the welcome note, please.
Thank you so much for inviting me to welcome Bob. So, in presence of a linguist like Bob Hodge, I would not like to say anything today, but I would just like to welcome him. And Bob, thank you so much for joining us. And I would just like to remind you, in 2021, we had a conference and our students they learned a lot from you. They had interactive discussions with you. But to the audience, I would just like to mention one thing. Since we are studying critical discourse analysis, Bob Hodge is one of the proponents of critical discourse analysis. Bob Hodge, Levon, and Kress, if I remember. So it was a trio basically, and they really worked quite hard in introducing new avenues in linguistics. And today, when we listen to a lot of other things like discourse analysis, visual grammar, social meaning, so on and so forth. So all this has been established by these worthy colleagues, this trio. And I would also like to pay condolences to Bob for the Kress's demise in 2020. But then we have Levon, we have Bob, they are with us, and we have been learning a lot from them. So I hope that this time our students are going to learn a lot. Dear Bob, I just want to tell you that the students in front of you, they all are studying critical discourse analysis. And I remember there was a confusion among our Pakistani scholars on critical discourse analysis and discourse studies. So last time I asked this question, and Bob said that there is no difference. They are one and the same thing. So these kind of clarities we know, these kind of clarities we want to have. So Bob is with us. I don't want to take more time. I want Bob to talk. I want you all to listen, and please prepare your questions. We'll be having questions, inshallah. Thank you so much, Bob, for joining us. And we hope that in future, we'll continue to having these kind of interactions with you. And if there are certain opportunities, we'll try to invite you to Pakistan also soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mehdi.
Thank you. Could my slides be put up, please?
In the meanwhile, allow me the honor of introducing our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Bob Hodge. Dr. Hodge is a distinguished linguist and emeritus professor at Western Sydney University, Australia. He is an internationally recognized scholar renowned for his interdisciplinary contributions to linguistics, semiotics, and social theory. His prolific academic journey encompasses a wide array of fields, including media studies, chaos theory, post-colonialism, postmodernism, to name a few. Throughout his illustrious career, Dr. Hodge has authored numerous influential books. Notable among them are Social Semiotics, Language as Ideology, and Myths of Oz. As well as his work as a researcher and author, Dr. Bob Hodge has had a long teaching career, which includes the designing and coordinating of courses. And as a PhD supervisor, Dr. Hodge has overseen some 40 doctorates. He received a Centennial Medal in 2002 for services to higher education. These are only a few of his remarkable contributions to teaching and research in the field of humanities and cultural studies. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Bob Hodge.
Thank you.
Please ask the IT team to upload the slides Bob had sent.
Right. Could you put my slide up, please? Because I want to combine my talk with the slide. While that's happening, I'll just say in response that I'm absolutely delighted to have been invited. I was only able to find a place for one presentation. I'll be very happy to give more presentations covering different areas in support of the work that you're doing. I just like to say that I personally am delighted to be presenting to a university in Pakistan, because as I'll go and say, Pakistan actually has a special place in the history of linguistics and discourse analysis, which people don't recognise. I'll just say it now that linguistics was invented in Pakistan. The first great linguist, Panini, was a very great linguist. His huge insights hardly recognised by anyone in the West. I don't know how well his work and works of people around him are recognised, but it is the case that he is the greatest figure in linguistics, in humanity, up till about 1900. Now, that really is something. And I just like you all to think about that. It's not obvious what follows from that, because, of course, all that many years ago, there's very few of Panini's chromosomes in anyone's body. So it would seem as though there's a vanishingly small proportion of Panini in any view. However, genetics recognises the idea of a genetic pool, and the genetic pool around Panini continues on. It could be detected by scientists up to a certain degree even today, and it's almost certainly greater than the amount that they can detect. So the spirit of the great linguists of the Pakistani tradition is still actually alive and well in people who have interrelated with people in Pakistan. So it's very likely that you are a genetic heir, and certainly a cultural heir, given I think the importance in discourse analysis as in genetics of the degree to which common factors can be transmitted over a very long period of time and space. So it's scientifically true of genes, so that can be proven. And I think it's also true as a principle of discourse analysis. I won't say any more about it. I'll just put it out here. That in fact, although we concentrate, many people don't take account of even shallow histories where discourse came from. I think that's untenable. Every discourse comes from somewhere. That process is always significant about it. It's usual to, people who don't ignore it only take it a short way back. However, and that's convenient and so on. go back forever. You can't do anything else. However, everything does go way back. And if you could jump from different points of a very long chain, you could more or less see how that chain is twisted and turned with details you don't need to know about, but that's how every discourse works. And what I'm wanting to do is to hopefully give you an inspiring framework as well as a practical guide to doing discourse.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I wonder if you could put up my slides so everyone can see it.
Yes, sir. Your slides have been put up in the room.
So people could see them, can they?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. I couldn't see them, but
Okay, yes, Bob, thank you so much for very good words for Pakistan and about the linguists of Pakistan. And I tell you that in Pakistan, more than 50% of dissertations are written on critical discourse analysis, and it's, different other variants. So definitely once you're in Pakistan, you will see and you will enjoy. And yes, you are right that our linguists, they have a lot of very good ideas, but unfortunately they're not being acknowledged as they should have been. So thank you so much for your kind words regarding Pakistan and Pakistani scholars. Thank you once again.
Right.
The floor is yours now.
Right. I'm wanting to talk to my slides, but I can't see. Are you able? Is anyone able to let me see what slides are up?
Currently, we're on the slide titled Data.
No, actually, please ask the IT team to upload it on the link so that all those people who are online can see it. Because I can't see this, Bob cannot see it. So it should be uploaded on the link, please. Ask the IT person if he's around.
IT team, please present the slides on the meeting.
Right. Anyway, I'll talk to it, but there's a number of general things I want to say beyond this general framing discussion. What first about the discourse analysis? I can see. I've seen the course you've offered, and I was very impressed by it. It's a really good contemporary update course on discourse analysis. So you people are in very good hands. So I thought one of the things that I could do would be to just take for granted that you've got the main points, and just emphasize a couple of things which are good. Back.
Dr. Hodge, are the slides visible to you?
Yeah, that's good. But could you go back to the first slide?
Yes, sir. Third slide, please. The first slide.
Right. Anyway, I'll keep on talking. But basically, for me, pieces of discourse, and so any such process can be analysed profitably, and it, what I emphasise with discourse analysis and all kinds of linguistic analysis is right, I still haven't seen it, but anyway, this discourse analysis is deformed by a long deficiency in mainstream linguistics. That mainstream linguistics, especially from the 1950s, following the so-called Chomsky Revolution, mainstream linguistics ignored the dimension of meaning officially. It's not that they didn't say much about it, but it was official. The study of language and grammar is not connected to the study. Oh, right, good. So, right. So that.
Sir, is the slide visible to you?
So
Yes, it's visible. Now go for the slideshow now, please.
So anyway, that's my first slide, and just a few things I want to say about it. One is that slide is in English, obviously. It's in English, which I'm attempting to make simple and clear, given your conditions of both what you understand and bring to it, and also your conditions in general, and basically your social conditions. And the point I just want to make is that whether people are conscious of it or not, the production of meaning is always in context, and therefore is always social, and therefore there are social meanings about key relationships, especially the relationship to the people listening, or between the people speaking and the people listening. So just a couple of pretty obvious things. They're obvious as soon as you look at them, but many people don't think that looking at them counts as discourse analysis. If you look at it, whatever I say in that is framed by both how I see myself, but especially how I see myself in relation to you, the listeners. So one of the things about that language is it's all in 20 point at least, because anything smaller than 20 point can't be easily read in lectures. Many people use PowerPoints with much smaller writing than that. The fact that I'm not doing it is because I am conscious of your specific conditions. It's in a way it's saying I'm trying to know how you are. It's kind of the meaning is a declaration of a democratic intent, but also a pedagogic intent. Someone who boils down what he's trying to say in a number of different dot points is projecting a sense of authoritarian certainty. So whatever I may say about being democratic and so on, the text I produce is reproducing a kind of authoritative certainty, and so I'm saying that that's a meaning which I'm transmitting, even though I could say to you, hey, that's not what I really mean. There are various things in that text, including things like the dot points and so on, which say certainty. One-sided transmission, in which clarity of the message is primary. In fact, that kind of thing goes along with that with a complete teaching model, a complete pedagogic model in which knowledge is transmitted from above to below. So the only way that I can counter that message is partly saying to you, I don't mean to be like that. I absolutely need in this presentation to tell you less and open the floor more to you and to your diversity. But if I do that, as I hope we've got time to do, then anyway, that's a counter meaning. If I don't do it, well, the meaning stands. So social meanings are present. So one thing about the meanings here. First of all, social meanings are not only present, but usually able to be seen, because a social meaning is meant to be controlling a total situation in which the person arranging that is responsible for how he or she understands the viewer's situation. Now, that's the basic analysis. You go into a lot of detail, but that detail is supporting the position of this as being authoritative discourse, unless it is countered. It's not sufficiently countered by my saying I don't mean it, because authoritarian people would say they don't mean it, and one message from discourse analysis is do not trust powerful people. So if you get nothing out of this lecture except that message, do not trust powerful people, including Bob Hodge, because he said so. Well, you'll have had a good session. But anyway, why do I do that? Thinking that, and I think people can have reasons, and those reasons then become also social meanings. So I am constrained by the technology, for instance. So technology is full of social implications, and in this case, I couldn't communicate with you face to face in a relaxed, interactive way, because the means don't exist. So, yes, forces act on people. Those forces themselves can be part of the analysis, and so I invite you to think of that aspect of any discourse, the extent to which the external conditions, including technology, constrain behaviours and produce social meanings. But those social meanings may be mediated, but they become factors when you're judging the total social meaning of a sender, in this case, myself. So, so I'll just now move on. One of the things which I think is really important to insist on is that these things are not either or. It's not the case that you can only be concentrating on social meanings, forget about what's said, or vice versa. Every significant exchange contains basic meanings, what I understood as meanings, and social meanings interacting in a potent mix. And so, in a way, that could be a sufficient guide for you to analyse the interplay in complex ways of those two forces. So I've said I'm pressured by social meanings. I'm also trying to say something which matters. So I'm presenting here the two key ideas, which I've already said sufficiently, or second one I've said sufficiently. Social meaning is a key object for analysis. The first one is grammar is different from what you thought. Grammar is a superpower. Now, built into that definition is my assumptions about what you think about grammar. And if you're alert to social meanings, you could already say, hey, what do you know about how I think? And that's an absolutely correct response. However, as the dialectic continues, you'll know why I'm thinking that. I think that because within the Western sphere, which I presume you, as writers and so on, that you read and reflect on, there isn't a dominant idea of grammar which I'm arguing against, and I assume that you probably think that, and so I'm arguing first of all against these other people who are not you, and if that's you, well, we're arguing together. So what we're doing is always a social thing, a social meaning. So grammar, different and important, and social meaning. So I say a bit in other bullet points there about critical discourse analysis and social semiotics, and basically I just connect that with the introduction. I know your teachers are really up to date with the latest ideas in this, and I think those basic ideas are good and important. So I'm not questioning them. I'm just sort of suggesting in ways in which you can take them further. You, as each individual you are, as well as your generation. You are the hope of Pakistan, you guys. So good luck to you, and good luck for Pakistan. Next slide, please. Could you produce? Right. So this slide is about data. And data is just an absolutely indispensable aspect of understanding any idea in academia. So data is the stuff you work with. You've got to be working with something. Ideas split out of ideas just quickly disappear. Ideas are always embedded in their realization. The dialect between ideas and realization, theory, data, and practice, they always go together. So that said, I'm going to begin with a piece of data which I selected. I won't analyse it now. I'll get back to it. I'll just use it to illustrate some things about doing discourse analysis at a high level. So the text is an extract from the US presidential election debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and I'm making some assumptions, which, as I say, are not only my guesses about you and the world, they are my social meanings, which are meanings about you. And so it's important for you to sort of look at my assumptions and say, yes, maybe, but not quite. And wherever you say not quite, push at that, because that's probably going to be an insight into something which ultimately will be really important, because you guys are experts in the world scene as viewed from Pakistan. And yeah, I don't know that really as well. So presenting this exchange, I'm making assumptions that, first of all, on the one hand, I'm making assumptions that elite people, thinking people in Pakistan, know about the US presidential elections, know who won, know some of the controversies about it, probably know more about the impact of that on Pakistan in different ways than I do, and than many other people do. But it's not in doubt that people in Pakistan are part of a world global order in which what's done in America has impact and needs to be understood by people throughout the rest of the world in what could be seen as the periphery. So the fact that you're in the periphery and you didn't have a vote in that election, I didn't have a vote in that election, that's just part of the social meaning of that event and your relationship to it. So I'll be analysing it, but what I've just for point of view of analysis, I've printed out a transcript, and I think a transcript is a wonderful invention to understand language. Without transcripts, there really isn't a thing to analyse in the same degree. So in a way, collection of data almost creates that object, and so you've got to see what's happening there, see the social meaning of it, but that doesn't mean, to say, you deny it. And what I've done is I've got a transcript, which into the debate was, of course, on television and spoken. So the transcript strips away the spoken part. As often happens, the process of a transcript removes quite a lot of important discursive data. So you've got to recognise both the social and the other kind of meaning that could be distorted from that. In the case of that, evidence of Biden's cognitive problems were slightly removed, but far more so Trump's. Trump was regularly cleaned up so that he looked like he was speaking good English grammar, and he wasn't. So what's the social meaning of not speaking good English grammar? Or what are the implications of it? And what are the implications of it being regularly tidied up? So I'll just move on to the next slide. Can you move on to the next slide, please? Right, thank you. Right, thank you. Yeah. So the whole debate took place in TV, on TV, and it was constantly actually able to be seen, and you can get the full transcript. Now, one of the things I do lately, which I think is really important for discourse analysis, I use the theories which are called multimodality, which insist that communication often takes place via a number of media or modes, including in this case visual and verbal. And the principles of multimodality say that actually the interaction between different modes is constitutive. So an analysis in one mode without the other actually is incomplete and misleading. So as the multimodal imperative discourse analysis, many people can say, well, sounds a good idea. I can see that, yeah, that's sort of true. But it greatly complicates it. How do I include multimodality at every point? What is that? What I say to that is that One of the things about multimodality is that the different modes actually often operate on different scales. So if you would set multimodality into a multi-scalar perspective, that is one which sees that messages at different levels happen at different times and different lengths, you realize that the visual I've represented here, this is just one screenshot of one moment. It's not a screenshot of the moment which I've got the text of. However, a rich analysis of this visual dimension will allow you to generalize, because if each thing they said, there was they were always basically in this sort of situation. They're all surrounded by this same institutional context. So even though it's not comprehensive, it is much more illuminating, and also possible to use one screenshot to stand for a whole debate. Then you find a place to hone in on the verbal text, and your analysis of the verbal text can be richly, complexly multi-semiotic, and in that way multimodal. In that way, it will be just a simply more adequate analysis than the former types of analysis, which used only written texts. Well, one of the things about said by multimodality, which I think is it stands in good stead for just the whole field of critical discourse analysis, is that normally communication happens in multimodally, wherever it seems like there's a monomodal form, like, for instance, print culture. That print culture is always inadequate to communicate those social and other meanings, and so those other meanings will be viewed. Sorry, I lost. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Right. I've just lost my own image. So well. Good. Excellent. So collection of data. That I selected that politically and socially as something which neither you nor I would be regarded as authorities on, but which both of us in our different ways, I would argue, would gain greatly from understanding better. That's a kind of a response to the complexity of one complexity of social meaning for these purposes, and that is the uh, what might seem to be a total contradiction between an individual with their own identity and any other identity, as though uh, as an Australian, I wouldn't have any understanding of what into this. You as Pakistan students would have none. What I'm saying is that social meanings are totally navigable. They are meanings. They're not facts. And so uh, I can imagine both an American perspective on this and also Pakistan perspective, and you can likewise, and that fluidity of social identities is it's a social fact and it's enabling. So that, as it applies to you guys, I believe you may well come up with insights which are just more brilliant than I am capable of, than many Americans are capable of, about a text which Americans may think is only about them. Because for you, your social needs actually need to encompass the total world, a total multi-scalar world of very great complexity. And to do so, you need to be able to occupy positions up and down the range. That's what understanding is. So, if I could move on to another slide. Right, now in this slide I want to use my slide to illustrate some points about discourse. In this, I'm doing my best to say simply and clearly some basic things I think about linguistics, and so I'm saying I'm focused on meaning, grammar, and social meaning, and I've been saying that in a number of ways. The next two dot points give a very rapid history of linguistics. Now, at this point, as I tried to explain that, I would expect that for many of you, your eyes would glaze over. You think, "Oh, this is boring and irrelevant, and, too much and too little." And I'm just wanting to say, yeah, that's right. That judgment expresses a social meaning combined with an informational meaning. I just want to backtrack, I think, if I could. No, I'll press on. Again, my point is that if you see this history as pretty irrelevant to you, I think that's a social meaning which you shouldn't reject, while also being open to the idea that maybe uh, you could be empowered to actually get hold of that history, feel that you understand it, and can use it to become a more effective analyst. So next slide. So meaning. I think I suggest you look at this slide. Yeah, I'm not playing games with you. Everything I say in this is what I think is the case from a scholarly point of view. However, none of it is so essential as just the basic point that meaning is a very, very important thing. It's always important, comes in different ways, and with my concern to empower you. If you think about it, you'll be able to see more and more meaning in any text, in any situation. So meaning is not a single thing which you either see or not. Meaning is something which becomes clearer and clearer the more you stay with it. So that just as an instance, I'll be wanting to workshop the that little bit of the debate, the presidential debate, and if you read it, reread it, think about it, talk about it, reread it, you'll finish up seeing more meaning in that part of the text than almost anyone on this planet has. It hasn't looked at as closely as that. A key to your power as an analyst is to read, reread, and reread. So meaning tremendously important, but you can already do it. Whatever it might take you more readings to get to where a fluent reader might effortlessly go. But if they stay there and you keep reading and thinking, analysing, you will know the meanings at issue better than there's obviously 50% of or more of American native speakers of English who elected the person they elected, and they just couldn't have grasped the meanings at issue, which I'm sure all of you will be able to do. So the idea that this is the idea I want to keep on getting back to, that students in Pakistan start behind students in the world is just native speakers of English is that's not how it is. By working hard, focusing, thinking, reflecting, your grasp of the combination of social and informational meanings in your text will be superior to most members of the American, Australian, and British voting public. So, it's probably just one slightly technical thing which I would, I think it's useful and clarifying. So I'll introduce it in the description of different kinds of linguistics. I said there were different kinds, and the Chomskyan tradition is the dominant one. An important tradition is the systemic functional linguistics tradition associated with Halliday, and in that tradition, there are two fundamental kinds of meaning, and I've been actually using these, so I might as well just make it formal. Halliday said that there are two kinds of meanings interweaving. There's what he called ideational meaning, that's the understanding kind of meaning, what it's about, and interpersonal meanings. And I think that's importantly true, and it's often in discourse. It's a very empowering model for discourse analysis, for you to be able to attend to the interplay between what the text seems to be about and social meanings, and the interplay means that what text is about is part of the key to the social meanings as well as affecting them. So I think that's just analytically very useful. I think probably another important thing I need to say in simpler terms, the idea that grammar is always meaningful. Now, there's a tradition in linguistics that the grammar is separate from meaning. When grammar is bad taught, it's taught as though it was separate from meaning. However, grammar is always meaningful, always about meaning. So I'll just illustrate that. It's been too long. We need to get to the workshop. So if you could go to a later slide, please. Did you get to the slide of transformations? Transformations for discourse analysis. Further ahead, please. Yeah. I'm wanting to take a single aspect of grammar, which is that's it. Transformation through the response of others. Right. Transformations were the sort of the great discovery of Chomsky and a key to his grammar, and so hugely important. However, it was a problem that he confined it to grammar and said it never has meaning. However, if what I say is true, that grammar always has meaning, then that prohibition is just stupid. It fails to understand understand how it is working in language, and especially what the payoff is for discourse analysis. So that whenever you transformations, according to Chomsky and according to everyone else, now happen all the time within language. And a transformation is just if you understand it using the ordinary words in English, transformation is a radical change from one state of things to another. So if you transform an organisation, you change all the parts. If you just change yourself, that's sort of transformation. Except that if you say transformation, you're saying all of my parts are changing. So that's a really powerful idea, and applies to everything. And because it applies to everything, what happens in the grammar will be reflecting of all these other important things that are happening elsewhere. So the core analysis of the grammatical category of transformation, as in Chomsky, if you just keep on asking yourself both who and what has changed, but especially how has their relationship changed, even if none of the paths have changed. So the first thing that Chomsky really brought the picture to is relationships really matter. And a change in relationships can have the same elements. However, usually if you change the relationship, you change at least some of the elements. In fact, what is most common is in any transformation, linguistically and everything else, the one or two elements are weakened or dropped out. So a famous case would be the passive, which is classically formed out of the active sense. A typical example, I'll just take one from this transcript. Trump says, Jake, both of you know that story's been totally wiped out. So that's a passive, been wiped out. The full form, according to Chomsky, is someone has wiped out that story. So what's the effect of deleting the agent? So sometimes you delete the agent uh, to make the agent seem unimportant. In this case, it's very common. The agent is deleted because he or she doesn't really exist. So no one's totally wiped that story out. But by putting it in the passive, Trump can be presenting something which never happened. So lots of different reconstructions from transformational analysis, all of them check it out against what really happened, and ask, why was this done? So transformation is not only a change, but it's a motivated change, motivated by the social meanings of the person making the change. So just using that as a model. I'd say anything you know about the grammar, ask what its meaning is, and in many cases, you'll be able to see an obvious meaning. If you can't see an obvious meaning, well, you try something else. But this is the kind of key to discourse analysis which builds and builds. So you could, if you could say a few basic important things, that's that's good. If you could say, you won't be able to say all important things. You don't need to. Some important things said clearly from a precise analysis of the language can be compelling. And in a way, that's a simple formula for discourse analysis. Look at the language, preferably the visual as well as the verbal language in any exchange, and see more deeply what the complexities of meaning are and how those complexities of meaning relate to complexities of social meaning. And finally, how they become evidence for explaining social meaning, which, however, will not be found in the text itself. So the social meaning aspect of discourse analysis, you use text clues, you go to the outside society for an understanding of what that might be, and then you go back into the text, because you'll probably be able to see things in that that text and that exchange which clarify some of the intricacies of the social relationships. So that's as much as I want to be talking. How much time have we got now? Can someone tell me how much time have we got? Hello?
Yes, sir.
How much time have we got?
We still have 15 minutes.
We've got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Right. I'd now like to switch to a workshop mode. It's less proportion of time for workshop mode than I'd want to, but it's essential that we do so. Can you show me the slide of the slide near the end?
The last slide, please.
Yeah, that one. Yes, that one. Right. Right. So, or maybe I need to go to the previous one. I think it says workshop. The one entitled workshop. Good, thank you. Right. For the workshop, which now will be squeezed for time. However, it's crucial that it exists. I'd like you to have that slide as a reminder of the points I was trying to make. But to me, it's important that you have an input, and sort of goes against the sort of the tendencies of what a Zoom meeting can do well, but what I'd like you to do is form a small discussion group of two or three persons, just the people sitting next to you, and each pair. I would like to clarify one question that they want to ask about the workshop as I intended, things that they wanted from the workshop. I haven't said what your questions should be because it's important that you say what they are. They will only illustrate what a proper process should be, but that is our learned experience. So if for 5 minutes you devise a question, and at the end of 5 minutes, we'll go round and people will ask that question. I don't know how many people think, but I have the idea that there's about 20 people. So it should be between 10 and 7 groups. So can you do that? I'm trying to do something which this technology doesn't like. That is, in a way, not focusing on the central presenter, but allowing you to be talking with yourselves, preparing questions, and then in 5 minutes' time, I'll be asking you each group question. I'll be trying to answer it, probably not adequately. So, over to you guys. I've disappeared behind an icon, which is my wife, actually. I'll tune back in 5 minutes' time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hodge, for your enlightening presentation. Can we move towards the question and answer sessions? The students would like to
Yes.
interact with you.
Yes, please. Yes. Right.
We encourage the students and faculty members to please seize this wonderful opportunity to engage with Dr. Hodge. Please raise your hands and tap the button on your mic to ask the question.
Hello, it's Saida Nazneen Gilani here, and I have a question that in your lecture you highlighted that Panini, a South Asian linguist, developed the TGG long before Chomsky, and you emphasized that the West isn't only a single unified authority in linguistics. So that made me think that how much value lies in our own linguistic heritage. So what do you think that what role do you see for local languages in local languages and indigenous knowledge system in reshaping the field of linguistics globally?
Well, all I can say is you really know the answer to that. That is just a great option. That's a really rich line of inquiry, which people in Pakistan can do better than anyone else in the world. It's not the only thing you can do, but that's a great thing to do.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Sir, my question is that you mentioned it in first slide that grammar is a superpower. So my question is that how can discourse analysis help us understand the way native speakers derive social meaning and grammatical structure from language use without relying on explicit grammar rules?
That's a very good question. I've been focusing on English in a way which is, I think, ideologically meaningful and exposes me to a big criticism along the lines of what your question suggests. I think if I'd gone more into grammar and how you analyze grammar, it would be emphasizing grammar as initial generalizations about how a language works, and those generalizations don't need to be in the same format as Western grammars. This has been something which has been rightly criticized throughout the history of linguistics. The dominant try to fit the subordinate languages into their categories. I think just to be constructive about that, I think the example the linguist Benjamin Lee Whorf is an inspiring and relevant one for all Indigenous languages, because basically all he did was he assumed that the repeated patterns in the language of non-Western people was likely to have as profound and challengingly different meanings as anything in their own. And so with the Whorfian framework, I think you can have the conversations with the speakers of those languages which get to the heart of what really counts in their grammar, in their understanding of their grammar. I don't know if that's helpful to you, but I think Whorf is just a really great linguist, and he's still in advance of most grammarians of English and European languages, and his main point is that what they think they know is inferior to what can be known from deeply respecting Indigenous languages.
Hello, Professor. Hope you're doing well. My question is, according to you, how does grammar contribute to the formation of dominant and resistant structures in a society? Like, what's the contribution of grammar? Could you please elaborate it?
Yeah, I think that the social meaning of grammar needs to be understood through a general model of the importance of an equal distribution of power in every society, and so the dominance of a dominance, dominance of a dominant is likely to be encoded in particular attitudes to different kinds of language associated with gender and class, or gender, class, and ethnicity. So the social meaning of grammar, it has always coded these meanings of power. One thing that I'd add to that is that the way of the kind of grammatical analysis that I've been urging you to do, which is always concerned with meaning and with social meaning, grammatical analysis is always a good step in challenging the dominance of the powerful.
Thank you.
Right.
Hello, sir. I hope you're doing I hope you're having a good day, sir. Azam Khan. Sir, my question is, does the increasing reliance on visual and digital semiotics, which are memes, emojis, GIFs, indicate a shift away from grammatical meaning making? Because nowadays meaning is very much slippery and one thing can signify another thing. So do you have something to say regarding that, sir?
Thank you. Very useful. Yeah. Yes. The change in dominant modalities, I think, is itself a significant factor of the modern era. However, what I'm urging is an approach to language in terms of which verbal language and its grammar has always been required a grammar that specifically relates it to these other non-verbal forms. The existence of emojis, etc., just establishes a richer set of analysable data for seeing this happening. But yes, the semiotic revolution, the media revolution, it's driven by technology, but that technology only has the social effects it has within a multimodal framework, I'll say. And in a multimodal framework, the category of grammar has not disappeared in the least.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right?
Thank you so much, sir, for answering the questions. It has been a very enlightening presentation. Unfortunately, due to the shortage of time, we will not be taking any more questions. I would now like to invite Dr. Noreen Naz, Lecturer, Department of English, UGS, to please say a few words.
Okay, thank you. On the behalf of the Department of English, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Professor Dr. Bob Hodge for his enlightening session on grammar and social meaning. It has been an absolute privilege to hear from a scholar of such distinction. Your insights have truly expanded our understanding of how language functions, not just as a system, but as a social force, and discussion about the empowerment and transformations has truly expanded our horizons towards seeing this topic. A big thank you to our 8th semester students of BS English also, who have for their active participation and thoughtful questions, and your engagement truly reflects your curiosity and your commitment to deeper learning. We also extend our thanks to the organizing committee, and despite technical difficulties, you have handled these things well. So let us carry forward the ideas and perspectives that are shared today and continue to explore the powerful intersection of grammar, meaning, and society in our academic journey. Thank you once again, Dr. Hodge, and thank you all for being part of this enriching experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With that, we conclude today's webinar. A heartfelt thank you to Dr. Bob Hodge for sharing his valuable knowledge with us. We also extend our gratitude to our respected faculty members and enthusiastic students for their participation. We hope this session has been an enriching experience for all. Wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.